And when I am sleeping, I kid you not, I'm gonna do a reenactment of what my baby's doing. It's like this. Hello, all of you beautiful birthing people. Welcome back to my channel. You are looking absolutely chef's kiss today. Just 10 out of 10 would recommend. Anyway, my name is Elizabeth, also known as Nurse Sabe here on YouTube and Instagram. I'm a labor and delivery nurse, certified childbirth educator, and currently pregnant with baby number 3. I am 36 weeks, feeling every single inch and week of this pregnancy right now. So today's topic is very appropriate. Today we are going to talk all about sleep in pregnancy. Why is it so gosh darn hard to find? How we can promote it, how we can deal with those damn Charlie horses that spring us up out of bed at night. And for those of you who are not in the United States, apparently Charlie horse is like a phrase we use here. It's just a really freaking bad leg cramp that makes me want to die. Things we can do during our pregnancy to make us sleep and rest better so that we look lovely, well rested, and ready to go. I know most of the time I look and feel like a potato, but I've been doing some of these tips. They have been helping, and so I would love to share them with you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's first talk about how pregnancy affects sleep. Why do we sleep so horribly when we're pregnant? And really, it boils down to a few different things. Hormones, weight gain, and maybe our mood and anxiety as well. So when we're pregnant, our lovely, beautiful placenta, the giver of life to our sweet little babe who gives babe nutrients, is secreting all sorts of hormones to maintain your pregnancy. Yay, we love it. But these hormones, specifically progesterone and estrogen, have some pretty not so fabulous side effects. So progesterone and estrogen are going to increase our need to pee. It's also going to increase heartburn, and it can make us have some really crazy dreams. And these dreams leave us feeling maybe not as well rested because we're not in as deep of a sleep. We're not getting as many REM sleep cycles. And it also can just leave us jolted awake, and now all we can think about is the dream. Also going to affect our sleep because it can increase airway congestion, which can lead to us snoring more heavily. Weight gain is another thing that's also going to cause some airway congestion, right? Because that soft tissue can hold weight in it. Even experiencing obstructive sleep apnea, where we are stopping breathing and waking ourselves up. So if you feel like that is the kind of sleep that you are experiencing, definitely something to talk about with your provider. I snore tremendously when I am pregnant. I do not snore when I'm not pregnant. I snore tremendously when I'm pregnant. And I also, and this is not cute, but I'm in the phase of pregnancy where like I wake up in a puddle of drool because I've been sleeping with my mouth open, because I have some airway constriction because of the weight gain and because of the hormones. Yay, pregnancy. Don't worry, we're going to be going over how we can help work on all of these things, I promise. Some other things that can lead to us not sleeping as well: restless leg syndrome increases during pregnancy, as well as muscle cramps, and these can be caused by weight gain and dehydration, and a lack of certain minerals can also play a role in this. Other things that make pregnancy and sleep not the best combination are just back and joint pain, right? We have this excess weight, we have this excess belly, we have restrictions on how we can sleep, as well as just like rolling over in bed. Some people experience symphysis pubic pain, so pain right at your pubic bone that almost feels like things are rubbing or pulling apart. Can be really painful when you roll over in bed. Another thing that seems to happen right when we're nice and slow and relaxed in our bed, our babies go absolutely crazy. Like, what are you doing? Why can I see all of your 5 toes moving across my stomach right now? My baby, I will show you, I think I have actually a video of this, of me lying on my side, and you can see. So I got a little baby butt right here, and legs and feet are over on this side. And when I am sleeping, I kid you not, I'm gonna do a reenactment of what my baby's doing. It's like this. Just across my stomach, and it freaking hurts. Like, I think I slow down and my baby's like, oh, I'm awake because there's nobody rocking me to sleep anymore with their movements. And that baby goes crazy. And it's uncomfortable. But that's another thing that makes sleep so difficult. And then head rams down on your bladder and you're like, well, now I have to pee. Is some thought as to like, why is sleep being disrupted? Why are the hormones disrupting sleep? Why are everything else disrupting sleep? And one thought is like, oh, it's gonna prepare you for when you're taking care of your baby and you're getting less sleep. I mean, yes and no, maybe that's true. But I also think that it is protective of us as mammals who used to live out in caves with predators and prey and all sorts of things, right? One, we're slower when we're pregnant, we're more vulnerable when we're pregnant, so we need to not sleep as heavily because we need to get up and run away. And they've actually found that not sleeping great during pregnancy is protective to your baby in some studies, which is crazy. Some other studies have shown that there might be a correlation between sleeping flat on your back and increasing your risk of having a stillbirth, which is when your baby dies in utero before it's born. The thing with these studies, there's not great evidence because we're not going to do a randomized blind controlled study where we tell some people to sleep on their back and we tell some people to sleep on their side. That's not good or safe for anybody. So these studies have all been retrospective for people who have gone on to have stillbirths. Did they sleep on their back? Now, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're on your back, that's awesome. Your body is protecting you and telling you, okay, let's wake up and roll on over to our side. So don't stress. Just roll over to your side and go back to sleep. Let's talk a little bit about how we can make sleep more comfortable. First and foremost, promoting a good sleep environment. When I was in nursing school, our professor said your bed should be for two things: sleep and what more than likely got you into this pregnancy position in the first place. Sleep and sex. That's all that should be happening in your bed. Now, that is not all that happens in our bed because we have TVs in our room. We have little mini screens in front of our face all the time. Also, look at Holden. This was him during a family photo session. That is just hilarious. Those things don't promote sleep. So one thing that I can really encourage and recommend, cutting out screen time before bed. Read a book in bed. That's no blue light up in your face and much easier to kind of fall asleep reading a book. Much better to promote sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night, try not to grab your phone. So what I like to do is I will actually have in AirPods and listen to a podcast or sometimes a YouTube video, but just listening to it with no screen. And if I wake up in the middle of the night, I will do my darndest not to look at my phone. I don't want to know what time it is because it doesn't matter. It's dark. It's the middle of the night. I don't want to stress myself out by knowing what time it is. But if I really am unable to go back to sleep and I've been lying there for a really long time, putting on a podcast, putting on meditation, something else that helps me to do that is using a sleep mask when I sleep. I am up with the sun unless I have this, and the sun wakes up very early. Now, granted, my kids are up with the sun, so I'm typically up with the sun either way. But when I work night shift and I need to sleep during the day, this is a lifesaver. Another thing that can make sleep so much easier is sleeping in comfortable clothes. This is gonna look different for everybody, but for me, it's probably that I'm wearing like underwear and an old t-shirt. I don't want to wear a tank top where I'm going to wake up and one of my boobs out. I don't want to wear an underwear bra because that's just not comfortable. I don't want to wear anything tight on my waist because again, that can be constricting and my body needs to breathe and move. So wearing loose fitting, comfortable clothing to bed is going to be really nice, particularly because in our third trimester, heat and cold very, very quickly. So it's nice to have the ability to just throw the covers off and cool off versus needing to take articles of clothing off because you wake up super overheated or in like a puddle of your own sweat. Now, as far as sleeping in the bed, what we know to keep ourselves, one, the most comfortable, help baby get into an optimal position is to be lying on your left side with something between your knees and your ankles. A lot of people love pregnancy pillows. I just could never get down with the ones that I tried. I felt like when I rolled over, I had to like flip this whole thing over. I didn't want to put my head on the pregnancy pillow. I wanted to use my own pillows. They're just not my favorite. But what I did find was a boyfriend pillow or even a king size pillow, something that's long enough to support both my knees and my ankles, was really beneficial in helping me to sleep better and sleep more comfortably. And when I roll over in the bed, instead of spreading my legs apart, which really irritates my pubic bone, I keep my legs together and kind of flip over, almost like a fish flipping out of the water, but just trying to keep my legs together to flip over will help kind of protect my pubic bone and that whole area from getting super sore. Sleeping at an incline, either through pillows, a wedge, or a fancy bed like what I have that can prop you up, can definitely help both with snoring and with heartburn. And then another tip that I love for sore muscles, especially when my lower back or my hips are sore, is a heating pad. I have one that shuts off after an hour, and it's just the perfect amount of heat to help get me to sleep. Now before bed, some things that can definitely help with promoting sleep, promoting rest, are Epsom salt baths. These are going to help with your sore muscles, help relax everything. Now, we don't want to be doing a super hot bath because that can affect your core body temperature just temporarily, but that can affect baby's heart rate. So doing a nice warm bath with some Epsom salt soak, reading a book in the bathtub, drinking maybe a little mocktail because we can't have that margarita that we so desperately want. One day. Soon though. We will. Promoting that time for some self-care before bed is going to be really great. Exercise is great. It will make you tired. It will help you go to sleep, but not doing it immediately before bed. So doing it a few hours before bed can definitely be beneficial. Now, obviously, if you're like, the only time I have to exercise is right before bed, please, I'd rather you exercise than to not. But if we're trying to promote sleep, doing it a few hours before bed is definitely going to help. Another thing that can help promote sleep is to not be dehydrated, but then also to not do all of your liquid drinking right before bed. So when I work night shift, for example, I try and stop drinking around 4 to 5 a.m. so that by the time I'm going to bed at 8 a.m., I hopefully will be able to sleep a long stretch and not have to wake up to pee. So kind of the same thought process. You need to be drinking lots of water during your pregnancy and just during life in general, but trying to get that water earlier in the day and slowing down your water consumption at night so that you're not peeing like a racehorse every 2 hours in the middle of the night. Because once you're awake, at least for me, it's much harder to fall back asleep. And getting enough water is going to be really important to help reduce your risk of getting those leg cramps that we talked about, those Charlie horses. I get them all the time. Couple other things. You can do some stretches before bed to help reduce your risk of getting a Charlie horse. Stand at the bottom of your stairs and dorsiflex your foot, so your heel on the ground, your toes going up, and push into that on each leg for a few pushes. If you have a Charlie horse and you wake up in the middle of the night, you want to do that same thing to kind of help release the muscles. If you point your toe, that actually will make the Charlie horse worse because it continues to flex that muscle. But something else that I have just started doing that has been life-changing is a magnesium supplement. So we know that magnesium and potassium can really play a big role in muscle cramps. My doctor, and of course don't start any supplements without speaking with your doctor, said, you can take the supplement, you can eat more bananas. I don't like bananas, so I decided to get the Calm magnesium supplement. I got the gummies, but I take 4 of these in the evening, and I have not had, knock on wood, a Charlie horse since I've been taking them. Another option to help promote sleep can be a sleepy body lotion. One that I particularly enjoy is by 8 Sheep Organic, and this has essential oils, definitely smells like some lavender, which can be nice and soothing for sleep, as well as magnesium, and you rub this on your muscles to reduce pain, tension, or cramping for a restful night's sleep. Okay, so those are all of my sleeping tips for you. I hope that they were helpful. Definitely, if you have any sleeping tips, let me know down below. I would love to hear some more, and until next time, bye guys!